rolling again with a 67 Chevelle. Another update, I just want to go over the fuel system I'm using. This is a Rick's tank, stainless steel, completely custom for what I needed. I went with this Aeromotive 19003, 5 gallons per minute variable speed fuel pump. This thing was pretty deep, and this is I guess a newer design where they come out at a 90 here, so I don't have to make any modifications to the inside of my trunk. I don't have to cut a hole or anything like that. If I ever need to switch it out, yeah, it might be a pain in the butt. I might have to drop the tank, but you know, it's a SS card. Really don't want to cut it up. So this worked out perfect. Hector made it a little deeper and made this part deeper, recessed just perfect, so it'll fit in there nice and tight. And it does have a variable speed controller here. This couple wires, you know, I think one of these is a signal. I believe it's the white is a signal here. This red one's just the power, and black is obviously ground. This signal wire is just a 0 to 5 volt signal, which goes through here. The controller, once again, one of these. This red one is the power, and this yellow is a signal. This will come from a TPS sensor. I'll show you that in a minute. That was a headache. And then, anyways, going to dash 12. This ORB port here is a dash. It's a dash 10 ORB, but it's open, so you can go to dash 12 and be fine using dash 12. I am using an Aeromotive, not sure the part number. I believe it's a 40 micron filter, and I'm just gonna mount this to the strap that holds the tank up here. Anyways, move on to the carburetor here, and you can see the headache I had. This is, before I go to this guy, I want to explain some of the obstacles I had. The original TPS sensor I was going to use was an Innovate here. Let's see, it's a 3930, and it does say it works for Holley 4 barrels, and it would have worked out fine for my gas carburetor, and it will, if I need it to, work out fine. It has a mounting back here which goes off the primary throttle on the passenger side. So there is a tab, you can see here. This little arm bolts to here and activates your TPS. So kind of like in the diagram here, that's how it's set up. Well, I got my E85 blow through carburetor here, and let's spin this thing around. Bear with me. And there's no throttle shaft. That wasn't going to work. So had to get creative and look around. I talked to Brett at Aeromotive. He had a part number that worked just perfectly, almost perfectly. I had to do a little bit of modification. It came with this TPS, which I can't remember what kind of car it came off, like a Corvette or like 85 Corvette, but it wanted to be angled up. Well, I wanted to have a dual throttle return spring bracket. It would be in the way there. That wasn't going to work, and I could have probably rigged up something, but I wanted it to look clean. So I actually used this TPS sensor, which has the arms are swung around on the opposite. That's the only difference. So got an extra one of these, but it was able to angle it down like this, and then that works out with all the linkage, works off of there. So that was the headache. All right, I just wanted to explain how this voltage regulator works with the TPS on here. Basically converts 12 volts. You have a ground here, connects to this ground here. 12 volts comes in here and converts it to 5 volts here. This 5 volts will give the TPS 5 volts. And you want to put a little bit of a preload on here so you get about half a volt when it's at idle, because you want your fuel pump spinning. If you have it no load on there, it'd be, I think, let me see if we can pop this off real quick. Maybe not. Yeah, I probably can't get it off. Oh, there you go. You can see that would be 0 volts, but you want a little bit of a preload on there. See if I can pop this on. There we go. That'll give it about a half a volt right there. And that little half volt will, this goes through the signal. This goes to the speed controller on the fuel pump. That'll little half volt will speed it up, and as you increase your throttle, it increases that TPS signal and voltage, and at wide open throttle you get about 3.7 to 4 volts, and that's, I think at 3.7 that fuel pump is at max speed. So you guys have any questions, let me know. Thanks. Other part that was a little bit of a pain in the butt was this bracket here. Holley makes one, except it is a little, let me see if I can find the original here. Yep. Grab that. So Holley's bracket here, actually I think this one's All-Star Performance, but they're exactly the same. It was almost identical, except these little screws for the dual in needle and seat that hold these little bowl caps on or whatever, that was hitting against this right here. So I tried filing it down and got to the point where there's no more material, and had a friend, my Nick, he knows somebody that does water jet, and he said, oh, I could fix that, I could make you one of those. And sure enough, we traced it out, and darn thing came out looking pretty clean. So I got that fixed, and I think that was about it. That was about all the headaches. Oh, another thing is, I had this fuel inlet here. It originally came with these. These are different sizes than what's on the dual needle and seat. These are -6. So I have to go to -6 to -8 here. So make sure we got lots of fuel coming in, because this is an E85 blow through, and that's my gas carburetor. Gas obviously doesn't need as much fuel as E85, and this is going on my 540 with the f-2 ProCharger. So we'll see how it runs. I'll give you guys another update here once I get that engine back. All right, thanks. All right, I wanted to touch on these two carbs a little bit, the difference. This one's from CSU. It's a Holley 1000 CFM. Kevin at CSU redid it for a blow through, put the annular boosters on, did a bunch of mods to make it work for blow through. Right off the bat, put that thing on, and it worked perfect. He just helped me go through the set to idle circuit real quick, and that was easy. I have no complaints right out from the get-go. Worked awesome. This is from Carb Shop. Should be a little over 1000 CFM. I don't think the CFM really, from what I understand, doesn't even really matter with these. I'm sure it does to an extent, but for the most part, it doesn't really matter, you know, because you're blowing through the air. F-2 ProCharger puts out a lot of air. So Carb Shop, I'll bill it. This one's my E85. This is my gas carburetor. Like I said before in a different video, probably do E85 in the summer when the temperatures are warmer. When winter time, I'll probably switch over to this, because up here E85 has harder time starting in winter, but we'll see how everything works out. So far, I haven't not got a chance to try this one out. It's my engine's still not, here, still waiting on that. And once I get it installed and back together, we'll see how it works. Hopefully have the same great experience as this carburetor here. Should be fine. Have a lot of confidence with the carb shop. Nice stuff. Annular boosters just like this. Difference is anodized black and billet. Everything's billet and black meter blocks and bowls just to prevent corrosion from the E85. We'll see how it runs. Anyways, next time.